Okay, so welcome back to No More Losers, Dating After Divorce. I'm Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching, and I'm glad you were able to join me today. We're going to talk today about 3 times when it's important to fake it till you make it. Okay, you've heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. Okay, it means that you practice until you master something. You pretend that something is true, and then truth will follow. Okay. A wise therapist once told me, act as if and it will come, which is basically the same as fake it till you make it, but you get the idea. So, when is it important to do that? And are we being somebody pretending to be somebody that we're not? And what does this have to do with finding the perfect partner for me? We're going to talk about that right now. The first time when it's important to fake it till you make it is when you're building your self confidence. Okay. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could just kind of wave a magic wand and then feel so confident that we could do anything? But it doesn't work that way. Okay. When I'm teaching my clients how to build their self esteem and their self confidence, I have them use what I call a life mantra. And the one that they use is, I'm a badass because. Okay. So they might not really feel like a badass in that moment. They might also think that they're a badass because they made it to work without cursing out another driver. And gee, isn't that silly? But that's basically what you're doing is you're saying, I'm a badass because. I'm a badass because I made it to work without cursing out another driver. I made it through the supermarket and got everything that I needed. I did my chores in a record amount of time. I was able to diffuse a fight between the kids. I got my report done at work in record time, whatever that might be. Okay, I'm a badass because. Now, you might not feel like a badass because you did those things. Okay, fake it till you make it. Okay, eventually, your subconscious mind is going to start hearing and believing those statements. Okay. We can chant all the affirmations that we want all day long. Okay. And they're not going to do a damn thing because affirmations don't work. But when a statement is based on something real, like the life mantras, I'm a badass because, okay, it's based on something that is real, that is something that has actually happened. And your subconscious can't sabotage you or can't tell you that that's not true or can't argue the point with you because you may not even realize that's all going on in your brain, but that's what happens. And it can't do that because it's based on something real, which is why affirmations don't work and life mantras do. Okay. So when we do this, we're not pretending to be somebody else. Okay. We are just trying to fake it till you make it the best version of ourselves. It has nothing to do with being somebody different. Okay. The second time when it's important to fake it till you make it is when we are forgiving others for past hurts. All right. And this is one of the tools that I use with my clients to help them heal from the trauma of past relationships and events, okay, whether they're related to romance or not, okay. It involves remembering and writing down what we want to forgive other people for, okay. And there's a reason we write it down. That has to do with creating neural pathways in your brain, which reinforce information. It helps us learn better to write things down. So frequently, especially when a divorce was really nasty or traumatic, we may not feel like forgiving. And you might be saying to me, well, that cheated on me, lied to me, it was a worthless piece of shit. And, why should I forgive him? Okay. And I get that. It's really hard to forgive people who have really hurt us deeply and caused us trauma. Okay. It's understandable. But just like when we're building our self confidence up, okay, we have to fake it till we make it. All right. Don't worry about the feeling yet. Write down all those things that they did to you. Okay. That you feel like they need to be asking you forgiveness for, that you should be forgiving them for. Okay, and then just try it on. All right. So, how does it feel to forgive them for these things? Okay. Ask yourself, what is the benefit? What am I getting out of not forgiving them? Okay. A lot of times when we don't forgive somebody and we have resentment, or we want revenge, or we have all this held on to anger, um, that we're holding on to so tightly, okay, it we can be a victim. Okay, victims are manipulating. Okay, manipulating other people into feeling sorry for them. Victims don't have to do the hard work of fixing whatever it is the problem is. All right. So when we ask ourselves why we think that person might have behaved the way that they did, we are starting down the path towards not being a victim and to taking the reins and saying, okay, I'm going to fix this. I am going to fake it till I make it. Okay. So ask yourself, why did they behave the way that they did? Maybe they never learned how to communicate. Maybe they suffer from depression or anxiety or some other disorder. It could be that your ex-partners parents didn't get along and they didn't have a good example set for them when they were a kid. They don't know how to be a good partner. Um, it it doesn't justify what they did, okay? But it does help you develop some compassion, and that's the first step towards forgiveness. So when you say, well, that it must really suck to be that person. Could you imagine going through your life feeling like that? Or not having the knowledge that you needed to deal with life, or to feel like they had to hurt me that much, that they had to do those things. It doesn't justify what they did, but it can make you, you know what, I'm gonna have a little bit of compassion and even pity for them, because that it must really be horrible to be that human being. That is the first step into forgiveness. After you've gone through that little exercise, try on forgiveness again and say, well, how does that feel now? Okay, fake it till you make it. All right, you keep trying. If you don't forgive somebody for the dirt they did you, and a lot of times the dirt that people do to us doesn't really have anything to do with us. It has to do with them. It has to do with their own fears, with their own insecurities, with their own problems. And we were just the unfortunate victim that they did it to. Okay. So if you don't forgive them for those things, you're going to drag that resentment into your next relationship. Who wants to have that kind of negativity hanging around? Okay. You don't want to be living your life like that. And you're going to keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again if you keep dragging that resentment around. You need to heal from it. So that's another time when it's important to fake it till you make it, when you're forgiving other people. And that doesn't always apply to relationships either. That has to do with anything in life. The third time when it's important to fake it till you make it is when you are learning to be positive and grateful and to reframe your experience of life. Reframing your experience of life, and that's a psychology term, okay, means just to look at something through a different pair of lenses. Okay, so for example, here you go. This is a highlighter. Doesn't look like a highlighter, does it? Okay. Does it look anything like that? Well, that's the same highlighter. Okay, but you're just looking at it from a different perspective, through a different lens. Okay, same highlighter. Okay, that's reframing, looking at things in a different way. And the most productive thing that we can do towards finding happiness, contentment, and fulfillment in our lives is to change the way we look at it. Okay, reframe it. Let's look at things through the lens of positivity, gratitude, wonder, and awe and amazement. Okay, so what does that have to do with faking it till you make it? Okay. Well, there are going to be days when life sucks. You know it. I know it. It just happens. That's part of life. It's part of being a human being. Okay. So the dog puked on your rug. You couldn't find your keys. Your assistant kept hounding you before you even had your first cup of coffee. All right. It's that kind of a day. I give my clients a life mantra for that kind of day too. And it is, something great about right now is, okay. And what that's doing is that's going to teach us to look at things through the lens of gratitude, wonder, awe, amazement, positivity. Okay. That's the path to contentment and happiness in life. Okay. So you've got the mess all cleaned up. You found your keys. You still made it to the office in time. Ha! I'm a badass because I made it to the office in time. Huh? See how I did that? While you were finally drinking that first cup of coffee in the office, you noticed that outside the window, there were a whole bunch of little birds eating things off the ground. Okay. All their little peeps and cheeps. They sounded like a song. Isn't that amazing when you see something like that? Okay, I have my window open right now because the weather is really nice today. And there are two bird feeders I have out in my yard that the little birds are, they're swarming the darn thing. I mean, I'm going to have to go out and put some more seed in. It's a wonderful, wonderful sound to hear. It's like a song. Okay. It's amazing. It's a part of nature. Do you notice those things? Do you stop and pay attention to what's going on around you at the moment and find wonder, awe, amazement, gratitude, positivity in those things? Fake it till you make it. Okay. So think about this. How are your how is what's something wonderful about right now? Are your clothes comfortable? Are your shoes comfortable? Is your chair comfortable? Is it you're enjoying? I love my office. I decorated my office. My husband gave me a new picture that you can't see that's on the wall for my office. I love it in here. Okay, this is my space. Okay, something wonderful about right now is I'm enjoying my space. What's something wonderful and awesome and amazing and something you can be grateful for right now in your space right now? What is something that you are enjoying? What is something great about right now? Anything. It could be the smallest of things. Just like I'm a badass because the smallest of wins, the smallest of accomplishments, the smallest of things. Okay. The same thing about something good about right now is it doesn't have to be a big hunkin' huge life-changing thing. It can be something really tiny because all those little tiny things, they add up into big things. And what you're doing is you're faking it till you make it. Okay. You're noticing, you're training your subconscious to notice the positives, the things that you can be grateful for, the wonder and the awe in your environment, in nature, in the world. Okay. That we take for granted and we don't notice. Notice them, start noticing them. Fake it till you make it. Okay. You might think this whole thing is kind of silly. Okay. But I promise you that if you start faking till you make it, okay, fake it till you make it, you will train your brain to think in a different way. It's going to be easier to stay calm. It's going to be easier to find solutions to problems when you're not being a negative Nancy. You want to be solution oriented and positive, and this is the way to do it, is using life mantras and faking it till you make it. Okay. Remember, everything tends to work out in the end, doesn't it? Everything always tends to work out in the end. Okay. Now, the same principle, you're saying to me, well, what does this have to do with finding the perfect partner for me? What does it have to do with anything? The same principle does apply here. Okay. So let me ask you this. Who do you want to be? What kind of human being do you want to be? What are your values? What is important to you? What do you think, what's important to a human being to be, in your opinion? Okay, what do you value? Do you value honesty, commitment, positivity, hard work, creativity, beauty? What do you go look up some values, write them down. What are the values that you find important? And use them to construct an idea of the person that you want to be, and then fake it till you make it. Okay. And this is not being somebody that you're not. This is being the best version of you, because these are the things that you think are important. These are your values. Okay. And what happens is when you start faking it till you make it, you are sending out a vibe of I'm positive, I'm confident, I'm content, I find awe and wonder and amazement in the world. I forgive people for the hurts that they've given me. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm focused on the now. Okay. When you send out that message in your persona, in your vibe, okay, people who feel the same way are going to find that familiar and be attracted to you. I call that the new car factor. And you've probably heard me talk about that before, where when you get a new car, all of a sudden you notice all the other ones just like it on the road, right? Same thing here. The people who find your behavior and your attitudes familiar are going to be attracted to you. And that is how you're going to attract people who can possibly be the perfect partner for you. Okay, instead of attracting the losers, the psychic vampires, the jerks, mama's boys, whatever. You want to fake it till you make it. Feel happy, confident, grateful, and value the time that you're here. That's just one brick in the path. of finding your perfect partner. There are so many other things that you can do to find the perfect partner for you and to become the person that you want to be. And I can help you do that. If you want to discover 3 ways that you are not aligned with finding your perfect partner, and the one thing that you can do to start walking down the right path, you want to go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/services. Pick up a perfect partner assessment, and we will talk about those things, and we will figure out what's going on and how you can start moving in the right direction. It's my gift to you. It's free. There is no charge. That website again is www.thequietzonecoaching.com/services. I'm really glad that you chose to join me today. Thank you so much. I will be very late on Thursday. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday. I am going to be late, but I will be here. So keep your eyes open later on Thursday. Have a wonderful, awesome, amazing day. Namaste.